Yo, it's Mo Flava. You're here for the catch-up, right? Nice one. Always good to have you back. But don't forget, the real vibe happens on 947, weekdays 9 a.m. to 12. In the meantime, kick back and enjoy more of the good stuff right here on Prime Media Plus.
You're listening to
Mo Flava on 947.
Let's talk about Josh's problems. Because Josh has sent a message on our WhatsApp line. Josh is out in the Free State. He says, I am fuming. This past long weekend, things finally boiled over with my brother-in-law. This guy has been bullying my wife, his own sister, for years. Huh? Okay. I've always stood up for her, but the family tells me to stay out of sibling business. Well, I didn't stay out of it this time. We had a massive fallout, and this guy actually went and opened a criminal case against me. The rest of the family, secretly, didn't even want him to drop the charges. They'd rather see me in a cell than admit that their son is a bully. He eventually dropped the case, but now the family has officially kicked me out of every single WhatsApp group. I'm the outcast. So I told my wife, I said, if they kick me out, then you also need to leave the groups too. And we are done with the weekly family brides as well. The family says I'm being controlling by isolating her. But I'm just trying to protect her confidence from a brother who hammers it every chance he gets. So Mo, am I wrong for asking my wife to choose my side and cut them off? Or should she keep the peace while they treat her husband like a criminal? That is a message from Josh. Family dynamics never ends. Family feuds stay with us forever, unfortunately. Okay, so, I mean, on the criminal charges and all of that, listen, Josh, I don't know what went down when you say you had a fallout, but I'm pretty sure that that matter will resolve itself. He dropped the case, etc., etc. But let's deal with the other issues. Like, I'm sensing here that you're looking for solidarity. So I totally agree with you. Nobody should be bullying your wife, whether they're family or not. So I stand with you on that one. So if you decide to take a position and say, I'm now going to step away from the family, or I'm going to, I don't know, just kind of spend less time with them, do my own thing. Does that mean that your wife or your husband ought to join in? In other words, are my enemies your enemies? That's kind of where I'm getting with this in terms of what I'm sensing. Josh, if I'm in your shoes, there's absolutely nothing wrong with sharing your views with your wife and taking a position if you want to. It's a pity that you got kicked out of WhatsApp groups, but that's not the end of the world. But I don't always think it's necessary to, get wifey to take the same position as you. In other words, what I'm saying is, if I was in your position, I would understand that it's her family, as in it's her blood. It's harder for her to take a position than you. But as long as she knows where you stand, I think that's that on that, honestly. Because I mean, there I am saying my wife should disown her family or whatever because they don't like me, and then what? She's going to be unhappy. So I don't see how that has a happy ending. But maybe you have a different perspective. So if you are familiar with these dynamics, or if you were in Josh's shoes, your in-laws don't like you because of a feud you had with one of them. You take a position, they kick you out of a WhatsApp group. Is it the right thing to do for your partner to join you in your position, or do you completely leave them out of it and say, well, this has got nothing to do with you, baby. This has got everything to do with me and your family?
947.
Today, Josh has sent in a story, and he's in a bit of a fix. He's actually very unhappy. He had a fight with his brother-in-law because he bullies his wife. In other words, Josh's wife, if you know what I'm saying. So obviously Josh feels that he has to stand up for his wife, which I totally agree with. Things went a little bit legal, and there were cases opened but then later withdrawn, etc. So the wife's family has taken a position against Josh. They have decided to turn their backs on him. They've even kicked him out of the family WhatsApp group, whatever. And he's taken that perhaps on the chin, but still upsetting. But the thing about it is his wife's position, because he's saying, baby, if they've kicked me out of the family groups and if they've turned their backs on me, you need to stand with me in solidarity given these hard times that I'm faced with. So he's trying to figure out, whether he should put his wife in a position where she must choose or whether he should kind of decide for her. Lita was out in Pretoria. Good morning.
Morning, Mo Flava. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. And how are you?
Me and Josh, same WhatsApp group. So, except I'm the one kicked out.
What happened?
So we were at a braai, and then first of all, we have a long line of not getting along, but we're just being civil with each other. You know that kind of situation.
Are you meaning with your in-laws?
With my in-laws.
All right,
yes.
got you.
So we just didn't get along from the get-go, but we were civil with each other, just being adults about it, right? So we were at a braai, and then it's getting late. So I said to my husband, we need to go home. It's time to go home. And then he agrees. But then when he goes, when it's time to leave, because I left first and he's going to drive behind me. So he tells his mom that I said that we must leave. So that the mom is now angry that I'm saying that he must leave. So I ended up being kicked out because apparently I'm controlling. So it became like a whole altercation where I was literally kicked out. I was told to never step foot in the house again. So my husband and I get home. Yes. We get home and like, okay, so what's going to happen now? Because remember, this altercation happened. He left first.
Yes.
Because I was supposed to leave first, but he ended up walking off. And then I was kicked out after he left. So I got home and told him what happened.
Sure.
And then I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen? So are you going to go home when I can't go to your house, or what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So then we ended up saying, well, then we're Prince Harry of Meghan Markle of the poorer side of life, the non-royal side of life.
You're gonna Bonnie and Clyde this thing.
Yeah.
I get you. Look, I'll give him credit for standing with you on this, because you know what? Sometimes family's wrong, even if it's your own mother. If she's wrong, she's wrong. But I must say that there's always an opportunity, and this is what I believe, Letabo. There's always an opportunity to fix things, to resolve matters at some point. So, in other words, yes, you guys can stand together on this, but I don't think it can last forever, hey? These feuds are not sustainable. Yeah.
No, it's not. We said what we're going to do is just create boundaries, because we clearly cannot have a relationship like we used to before, but we're going to have to create boundaries to say, okay, this is how we're going to stand in solidarity to make them understand that we are one. But at the same time, we're going to have to find a way that they respect us and we respect them.
Absolutely.
But we can't dissolve the relationship. That's not how it works.
Yeah. FYI, I'm also the one who never wants to leave whenever we're home. But it never ends up in a World War III situation. So
thankfully for you.
Thanks for the call, Letabo, and pity about that scenario. So evidently, it seems as if standing with your partner, if they're on the right side of things, is the way to go.
The wife should definitely leave the WhatsApp groups, because when it's about loyalty, when she got married, she's one with this man. And if she stays in these groups, she is showing that she is not loyal to her husband, and she doesn't think her husband is important, or she doesn't respect, she's not united. They should show a united front. And besides, they kicked her out because they kicked him out because he was standing up for their person, their relative. They should actually be happy that he's protecting her, right? They're actually showing favoritism by, not just, just.
I get you. It boggles the mind. I just think you can also show loyalty to your husband or your partner without necessarily causing issues on the other side. Because sometimes all hubby or wifey want is that you stand with them, or that you hear where they're coming from. You know what I mean? And that sometimes is good enough for some people. So, yeah. All right. Let's get into another voice note.
Mo, let's be honest, Letabo is controlling. I bet Letabo told the husband that if you're going to go back, then me and you are over. The guy just had to put his tail between the legs and decided, you know what, baby, we're both not going home.
I know, yeah, so you should stand up for her, but also now in the same sense. With all my brother-in-laws, we have 3 daughters. Okay, I'm the only one that doesn't have a partner. So now the men know whenever the 3 of us sisters get into it, you keep your nose out of it. It doesn't matter how much you would like to interfere, you stay out of it. Because eventually what will end up happening is the brother-in-laws will now get involved. People will get angry at each other. By the time our sisters have made up, the men are still mad at other family members. So just leave them to work it out. If there's been a case made against you, that means you lifted your hands or something that was prosecutable happened. So you don't have to go to that extent to prove your love and your loyalty to your wife. If you're being told to stay out of it, then stay out of it. But you do not have to enforce any level of violence, verbal or physical, to prove that you are going to protect her and that you love her. Don't do it.
Morning, Mo. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not married. Maybe I don't understand. But immediately you're in a relationship, in a marriage, in a relationship when you are one, he actually shouldn't even have to ask her to choose. It should be up to her. She should say, oh, okay, you guys are bullying my man for standing up for me. I'm leaving you guys. I'm choosing people that choose me. Should be that simple.
Yo, Mo Flava. Hey, you've got a tricky one there, brother, today. Yeah. You know what? One thing's for sure. I think getting your wife isolated from your own family, and that's the worst approach. But the best I can tell brothers, is to say, you know what? You would rather just talk it out with your wife. Let it be your wife's decision, not your decision. Because obviously, from where everyone is standing, even it feels like you are also inflicting the bullying onto your wife. Though I understand you coming from a good angle, protecting your wife. Because I also was in a similar situation during my father-in-law's funeral. The brother-in-law now wanted to hog all decisions towards the funeral. Now, at the end of the day, with my wife, she also wanted to have her own perspective. So now he was threatening to hit my wife, and I told him, no, my brother, do that. Now you are actually fighting me. So since then, we've never spoken, and it's okay, and I'm okay. But they still talk with my wife, but I'm okay.
Yeah, look, like the war in the Middle East, these family feuds are unsustainable. You know what I mean? But I also can't blame anybody for taking positions. But I think loyalty is the key word here.
947